Hello class. Look what we're going to do today. Your second week of figure drawing. All right. Now you can have it as well. I don't expect you to have this. That's a beautiful picture of a lady, Lena Rivos. Okay. It's a beautiful, really good gesture. So that's why I wanted, and there's no involvement of features and hands or fingers, which is could make it a lot more complicated. So that's a really great start. Now, gesture first. You have it's slightly a line going this way, which is it's the axis of head to her well, shin and kneecap. So head, shin, kneecap here, and then the foot down here. Head, and you got the head, which is moving on the left. She's tilted towards the left, and that is a face. As you see, I'm keeping the charcoal really sharp on one side, but then I'm using it sideways, as you can see it sideways, the charcoal, because I cover a lot more and it gives you a lot more you don't actually commit with lines at this stage. So a shadow, because you've got the sun underneath, a shadow of all her dress. You have a beautiful fold here. This is her breast at the top here. Shoulder. Now this shoulder stands a tiny higher than the left shoulder. Well, it's her right, but it's our left. So I'll keep talking about what I see, not her left, but my left. Hair here. There you are. And I want you to keep it as much as possible as a sketch. So I will not really load you with things here. So you got the eyes, well, eyebrow, eyes here, and mouth. There's a tiny shine of light, look, on her nose. See? So, but that's too early now. So yeah, sorry, it's too early. I shouldn't say that. It's just, I wouldn't worry about it at this stage. Then you have the fold and her dress moving freely here. Then you have her hand moving it right here. And the lower arm. Hand itself. Again, this is also subject to the shadows. Shadow here. Then fold, fold here. And then you have the kneecap. Now the kneecap stands right under the, well, if you drop a vertical line from her eye, you will find, look, from her eye, vertical line, that's where her kneecap is, at least one left. Then you got the shin. So you see I moved the line, you see, as I found out, you see, that is why you do start with wide shadows and you're not committed with the lines here. Or otherwise, if I wanted to be more accurate, I would have gone with lines like this. But then you don't actually know where you're going, especially when you start. So it's better to use the charcoal on the widest part, which is like this. See, wide. Not lines like that, but like this, sideways. That's a better approach. Well, it's safer. It's not only better, but it's also, it's safer firstly, but also it's better because you can actually introduce lines, shadows like this, a lot more shadows. Now you have her right arm, which is hidden because of the fold here, and her dress right here, and her kneecap sheen. And let me see. Now under her right eye, you got the right eye, and I have here where her foot will actually end up to be. Let me see again. So I need to move the eye then here. That will make more sense if I move the eye a little bit more to the right, and then straight down line. And so the shin, the kneecap here, and the foot here. A little bit shadower, more shadow here. Calf. There you are. Her right calf, right side of the calf. Then you got the leg here. Then you got another shadow here, and cast shadow of the right foot onto her left. Then you see here thigh and then calf on this side. And you see it's beautifully shown because you got the calf coming under the right calf, her left calf under the right calf. Look at that. And this is a negative shape. That's what it's being, well, that's why it's called here. It's negative shape. Like this. We have the drawing of the foot, and you have the negative shape of line. That's where we are here. A bit of shadow. Now, whilst I have the figure, let's see where the actual middle of the whole figure is. Now, why do I need that? Because that will give me a good foundation, let's say. So from the top to the bottom, you need to know that. You need to know where the middle of the whole figure is. And it is, apparently will be, I think it's here. So from tip of her foot right up. Yes, it's there. Okay. Again, tip of her foot, and it's under her. Yeah. Well, it's the fold or middle of the crotch area. One. No, it's lower than that. So it's somewhere here. Wow, right here. See that red dot? Right there. Right there. So tip of her toe to that right area here, and then there. So if I say that that red dot here, it's here on me, that should be my middle as well. So toes to that, and then that is, whoa, well, that's not the case then. So I should lower that here then, somewhere here. That's more like it. Okay, good. So let's see. My second measurement is more accurate, and then I can now stop and build up my figure from here. So that's her toes, supposedly. These are her little toes. Now why I mean supposedly, because we don't actually see them. So I better keep it vague, because that's what I have here. There's not much information there. Now, a bit of shadow here, working with the folds, working with the hand. Hand is here, light part of the hand, dark. There you are. And the fold here. Fold. Then you have those massive, dark, colorful, shadowy folds here. There we are. One, well, the two at the front, 1, 2, and then this big one, this one here, which goes, and then here, and shadow, 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 shadow. That's all in the dark. Also in the dark. Then you got her breast here, and also dark, 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 and then you have that shadow under her. There you go. So that is the shadow which is being casted by her hair. And hair here. And a darker tone here if you wish of her hair. Now, head. If I was to make it, to enlarge it, look, squint your eyes and you will see there's a reflected light coming from her chest or thorax, reflected under her chin, on the lower part of her chin. Lips are very, I mean, yeah, it's not, almost not touched, because that's not the point, it's not the portrait. So this is why I'm insisting on, do not get involved too much with face and features, and because it's not a portrait. And one thing that I will add you today will be, look at a brush. It's so much easier. Now what you do is, do you remember that we always sharpen our pencils and charcoals mainly on a sandpaper? So take that from here, and I'll show you what I'll do on the face. Let me zoom in. Okay, a bit further up. Now you'll see her face will go blurred, because it needs to go blurred. See? Forehead. Hair. Forehead again. A bit more top of the head. No. I'll leave the brush down and just emphasize a little bit more the eyes here. Not much, just a touch, just a touch. It's the other eye here. Lips. And hair. Oh, I think that the head has gone a little bit too large. Yeah, I need to get the head a little bit smaller. Okay, close that. A little bit darker here, shadow. Again, not to get too much involved with shapes and size. I would say shapes more, but not actual eyes, because they're not there to start with. So really kind of abstract portrait of the girl, and I think we can lower that a bit more. Hair here. Yes, see, emphasizing on the lines here, emphasizing that shadow here, and I'll come later on and do those highlights. But before I do those highlights here on the neck, I better keep darkening it a little bit more, get more of the roundness of her face. And the shadow here. Shadow here this side. There you are. I mean, yeah, the lips, I've gone way too dark too soon, but they're just there. Okay. Now, putty rubber with a putty. Always warm up the putty by keeping it in your hand. Whilst you're drawing with your right hand or left hand, you can always keep the putty in your hand, because that is, it transfers the warmth of your skin, and it warms up the putty and becomes a lot more absorbent. So it is really good, that technique. Keep the putty in your hand. Highlight, see that reflected light here that we have between the two strands of hair. Also we have that highlight here under her chin. It's quite bright. And also a very, not as bright, but a little bit of lighter highlight here. There you are. On her chin. On her chin, and also on the nose. A bit of highlight here on the nose. Okay, highlight here. Highlight here. And there. So highlight on her hair, on all sides. Actually, I could have gone a lot darker there, but for the time being, I'm just highlighting it. And also, her dress is a bit darker than her skin tone. So there you are, that's her skin tone. And then you have the highlight here. And then highlight here on her breast. Also on her folds. Her dress again highlighted. A little bit of a lighter tone again. I'm insisting on the nose, this part. I'll give you some, some simple portraits until we go to full portraiture. Slowly. It's better to take it easy. And coming back and forth with the hair here. Dark here. Darker. And middle of her hair, where you got the split of her hair here. And dark. And here as well. Okay, I think it looks all right. Again, a bit emphasize the fold here. And a bit more. You don't have to follow and do the exact turn of, you know, the ins and out of folds, but you just have to follow a few of them. You don't have to do all of them. It's not the point to do all of them. Again, softer here, a bit darker here, and a bit darker here, and a bit darker. All of that darker. Now I could get a little bit, trim this side, and also lower that a bit more, because otherwise, keep an eye on that. You don't want the head. The head is on the original. The head is. I'll show you. Compared to her shoulder, the tip of her chin is at the same level as the shoulder. You see? There we are. So lower the shoulder, and that will make it a lot more suitable to the size of the head. And also her face needs to grow a bit more on me. Make her a little bit wider. Wider faced. Wider face here. Wider. And wider here, a little bit wider again. This side of the face. And wider, and also wider here, underneath. That will show a little bit more reflected light coming underneath her chin. There we are. And slightly less darker lip. Keep the lip a little darker. Again, keep it simple as you can, because it's not the point, it's the gesture which is the most important thing on this drawing. Now, coming back, highlighting the hands. Do you remember that I've kept that area here? I knew that where the light is, and that's the hand area. And get the brush, sideways of the brush. Any brush will do. You don't have to have this kind of brush. Show a bit, so you can see more here. There. Softly redirecting the darks here. And dark here. And hand here. And, well, I mean dress, not hand. The hand is here. I think I probably can make it a little bit, elongate the hand a bit more. And the dress here, just drop the dress a bit more. Highlight the fold here. You see the light is coming constantly well, it's obvious that it comes from the right, from the left or her right, for our left. And then you have the dress here, and the knee cup, and the highlight here between the two feet. She looks a bit short to me, but actually it's not that short, because it's just the camera just distorts it. She's not that short, although she's a little bit short. I think it looks short because her head is a bit big. So what I need to do in this case is to increase, see, because the head looks a little bit larger than it needs to be. Okay, come down now and make her foot a little bit longer to adjust her head, because the head has gone a little bit larger. So let's make her shin starting from here, and you go there, then you go to her calf, and there you are, foot, right here. That's a bit taller, and that's what we need to bring her knee cup here, and the highlight here. There we are. And there you are. A little bit more. Coffee. And here as well. Okay, bring a little bit that emphasized fold, which is straight from the sun here. Her hand, we cannot actually see her hand, her right hand, but we see the folds here. I think still the head is a little bit big, so I could make her, see, now the head on the original picture, the head goes like this. It's like you can measure it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just over 6. The head enters the body over 6 times, just over 6 times. There you have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just over 6 times. And on me it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so it's, yeah, it looks short, so I need to bring even lower the her knee cup here, and then bring the foot just lower than that. I mean, I could leave it as it is or make the face smaller, but I like the face as it is, so I'll just increase in the body. Shin and calf. Wow, oh no, that was way beyond the need of shin. There we are. Yes, she's a lot long, well, longer, I mean taller. I meant taller. And also bring the dress a little bit lower, so that will highlight the dress by doing it, moving it that way. And then here as well. There you are. That's better. And not forget the shadow of the girl onto the sand, or the scorched earth here. She's moving on. There you are. And then the sheen. And then you have the sheen here, a little bit darker, and then sheen on her left foot. Sorry, right, it's her right, but our left, as I said, again and again. And a little bit more calf here. There you are. And an indication of her toes here. See? There we are. Could come and brighten that up a bit more. And again, hand, knuckles, and a little bit of folds here. Highlight, highlight, folds coming this way. Highlight of the fold here, and maybe just give it a dark tone all around. Take some dust from my sandpaper and then spread it like this. There we are, and all that, and then bring the thighs here. Knee cup, shin, and a little bit of surrounding area here. Some undergrowth, if you wish. That will enrich it, will not make anything, will just make it look better. And then you have the sea around her. It will give her a little bit of, will put her into an environment, so it's not walking on air, let's say. There we are. And highlights here. Again, softer flesh tones here, softer. Softer, brighter. And the hair this side. And the hair here. And again. Again a bit darker here. And the dress, a little bit more of a lighter in the dress at the top. Well, actually it's lighter here on her thigh. Lighter there as well. All right, and can come back and highlight those here a bit more, the folds here. That's look good. Looking good. Okay, well, I'll spray it and then I'll carry on for a little bit more, but I'll spray it first. And I'll show you the way to spray, which is pretty much the way that you do it in any other object. Just shake it really well before you use it. Any hairspray will do. I'm using this one. You'll find it everywhere. Any will do. So spray it and then I'll leave it for a while until it gets completely dry and then carry on for it. Hello, back again. Bit of a break to give it a little dry and then re-emphasize the hand a bit more, so we can see the hand where it stands, those dark shadows in here, and the fold here, then shadow down here. Needs to be emphasized, that little fold again around here a bit with highlights, darker highlights. And that's where the breast area is. And yes, bit of folds again here, and there we are. Highlight here. Give our hands a bit more again. Darker lines here. Re-emphasize it, makes it a little bit, just jumps out a bit more. And again, hands. As I said, I'm not getting in too much on that because it's just almost like an abstract gesture there. So, kneecap, shin, and then this other part of the shin, kneecap again. There you are. See, that makes it come forward a bit more. And the shadow here. Bring that a bit forward. And her dress. Okay, now last thing is to do it with again a brush, and brush those aside. Just incorporate those darks a bit more onto a darker, general darks, let's say. Bit of darker with the dust. That's the dust from the willow charcoal. So you just scrub the willow charcoal there, just take the dust from here. And a bit darker here. And just make those darks a little bit less impactful. There you are. Just a tiny bit less dark than the shadow here. finished. Bit neck, under the neck. Here we are. Okay. See you on the next one then. That's the 6. 6 or 4, 21. All right.